In this video, I want to summarise a paper written with my colleague Rumana Bukht that asks a straightforward question. If the digital economy offers such strong development potential, why is that potential so often only partly realised in developing countries? We define the digital economy as that part of economic output derived solely or primarily from digital technology. So platforms like Uber, Facebook, Alibaba, or global trade in data. It's estimated at around 5% of global GDP and growing. For developing countries, the promise is real. Cross-border connectivity, new markets, new employment. But that promise is being constrained and in some cases actively undermined by three interlocking challenges. First layer is infrastructure, meaning issues like unreliable power, limited broadband, devices that many people can't afford, and content overwhelmingly in languages most people don't use. As one example, in relative income terms, bandwidth costs in low-income countries are often many times higher than in the global north. Second challenge is the digital ecosystem, the human and institutional infrastructure that sits around the technology. Too often we find skills shortages, brain drain, lack of venture capital for local digital firms, and regulatory frameworks written for a pre-digital age. Thirdly, there are digital disbenefits. Some groups remain excluded altogether. Others are included but on unfavourable terms, for example, through precarious platform work, and there are growing concerns around security, privacy, and trust. So, what policy response is needed? The paper maps over 30 specific instruments across all three domains. As examples, on infrastructure, we can think of independent regulation, mandatory infrastructure sharing, and a serious rethink of taxation and pricing regimes that keep connectivity out of reach. On ecosystem development, digital skills need embedding at all levels of education, but skills alone achieve nothing without financing. So the paper points to venture capital frameworks, targeted funding for digital SMEs, and public-private partnerships that actually let local firms grow. On disbenefits, universal service funds need governance reform. On one estimate, nearly 3/4 of such funds never reach their intended recipients. Platform labour needs fair work standards, and anti-monopoly regulation needs to catch up with the platform economy. Cutting across all three domains is a governance challenge. Digital economy policy touches the responsibilities of ministries of finance, enterprise, education, health, trade, and more. The predictable result is fragmentation and incoherence. What's needed, and what the paper proposes, is a digital economy policy collaboratory, a cross-cutting structure that bridges government, private sector, and civil society, and that adopts an experimental, iterative approach to policy making. If you're working on digital economy policy, whether as a researcher or a practitioner, and you'd like to know more, then this paper will hopefully make for valuable reading. It's free to download from the Diode Network publications page, which you can find via the QR code or the web link shown. And thank you for watching.